Hello Year 6 and welcome to Safer Internet Day. So I've gone for a bit of a kind of slightly computing engineering-y background for this. I thought it was quite fun. So in a minute, we're going to get started with our Safer Internet Day. So this is still linking to a lot of the SCARF work that we've done earlier in the half term about staying safe online. Now, before we start, just for no reason whatsoever, can you please write down your name, your favourite colour and what you had for breakfast on a piece of paper? So that is your name, your favourite colour and what you had for breakfast on a piece of paper. Keep it near you. You may or may not need it as the lesson goes on. Right, let's get started. Right then, little rewind before we begin the rest of this lesson then. So last time we were doing safe internet lessons in SCARF, you were doing them with Miss Walker. So what was the traffic light system that Miss Walker introduced you to? Well, this is the traffic light system and we made those posters. Hopefully you are remembering. So there's kind of 3 steps: go, think, and then stop. So before you share any personal information with anybody, you should stop. Before you share your name, photos of yourself, especially ones that would identify where you are or the name of your school, you should stop before you share your address, the name of your school, your birthday, and of course your phone number. That's really personal information that you need to stop and check with an adult before you share that information, because we probably shouldn't be sharing that information online. Amber then is think before you share. So think before you share your email address, how old you are, the names of places that you've visited, your postcode. So this is still personal information, but this is information that is okay to share, but again, checking with an adult first of all. And then green to go if the information you're sharing is not that personal, like an email address, or if you have checked with a trusted adult first of all. So I want you to keep remembering this in your head as we go through this lesson. Here are the what, hows and whys for today's lesson then. So we are going to understand what permission means and the consequences of giving permission online. We're going to do it by reading and researching, and we are going to do it so that we can stay safe and celebrate Safer Internet Day, which is today. To start us off then, what do you think permission means? So our what said to understand what permission means and the consequences of giving permission online. So what do you think permission means? Can you use it in a sentence? Can you think of a time where somebody might ask you for permission? Well, the official dictionary definition of permission is that it is the act or action of officially allowing someone to do something. So it is giving somebody consent or authorising something. So permission can be as simple as, if you want to walk home from school, we have to have permission from your adults. If you are going to go on a school trip, we need permission from your adults at home. Okay, so permission can be something like that. You might ask, if you were in class, can you go to the toilet? And I might say, yes, I will permit you. You have permission to go to the toilet. Okay, so it's allowing someone to do something, and the sense that we are looking at it, we're looking at it online. Okay, so we are looking at the permission, the action of officially allowing someone to do something online. So if you want to write that STEM sentence down, that definition of permission, into your book, you absolutely can. So you've got it to refer back to. Okay then, here is our first activity. So I am going to show you 9 different examples, and I want you to think about and write down, are these online or are these offline examples of asking for permission? Here are number 1, number 2 and number 3. So number 3 is quite small. It says, let us know you agree to cookies. We use cookies to give you the best online experience. Please let us know if you agree to all of these cookies. So write down, are they online or offline permission? Here is number 4. And here is example number 5, which, as you can see in the bottom right-hand corner, it says Roblox. Okay, so this is a permission that you might see on Roblox, which probably gives you a bit of a clue whether this is online or offline. Here is number 6. And here is 7, 8 and 9. So if you can't read number 7, it says besties. Noah, did you see Jojo Games uploaded a new video? Avani, no. Is it any good? Noah, about to watch it. Hitesh, can anyone remember what the homework was this week? Luana, just spellings and timetables, I think. Avani, what's everyone doing at the weekend? Noah, hey guys, can I add my friend from swimming club to this group? She's joining our school next week. Answer time then. So, example number 1 was online, okay? Because example number 1 was some kind of online message or email or text message, more of a text message than an email, or some kind of social media potentially. So there's somebody saying, hello, is it okay if I post that photo we took today online? So somebody is asking permission of their friend, can we post that photo we took together online? Number 2 is, of course, offline. Please may I go to the toilet. That's asking for permission in real life, not online. Number 3, and you might see this kind of box quite a lot when you are using your computers and you're going on the internet. So the cookies are the kind of bits of information that the website might save about what you've clicked on or what you've been on. So you can click no or you can click yes. Number 4, can I stroke your dog? That, of course, is offline. Number 5, the terms of use have agreed. And again, you might see this kind of thing quite regularly. So by clicking I agree, you are agreeing to the terms of use and privacy policy. So when you are clicking I agree on something like this, you are agreeing, you are giving I suppose you are giving kind of permission to whatever it is that you are clicking I agree to, okay? So sometimes you need to be careful about what you are agreeing to. But if it's a website that you know and trust, you are usually okay to click I agree, just as usually you are okay to click I agree on with cookies as well. Number 6 then is some kind of game, kind of like Minecraft. So I can see they've got private, which is brilliant. That tells me that they are keeping themselves safe online. And this one is all about upgrading the Battle Blaster, and they're asking permission to upgrade it. So of course, this is online. Number 7 is some kind of social media group. It looks similar to kind of a WhatsApp type group. And Noah is asking permission to add his friend from swimming club. So again, this is another online asking for permission. What do you think? Do you think that they should say yes or they should say no? So with this kind of thing, for one, we shouldn't really be on the groups like WhatsApp anyway yet because we're not old enough. And we shouldn't really, we know we've learned about the dangers before about being on group chats, haven't we? However, if we were a little bit older and we were allowed WhatsApp, is it okay to add somebody who's joining school next week? Well, this one is kind of a bit of a personal preference. You might say to Noah, can we meet her first or him first before we add her to the group? Or you might feel like, yeah, okay, why not? Let's get to Noah before we meet, or him before we meet them. So that one's kind of a personal choice. Number 8 is Pokemon Go. Should you allow Pokemon Go to access your device's location? So this is saying that if you click allow, Pokemon Go, the app, will then know where you are, where your device, where your phone is, okay? It will know your location. And if things like Snapchat, which again, we shouldn't have, but if we do, that's another app that does ask for your location. So this is, of course, an online permission. Do we think we should allow devices' locations to be shared? So this is pretty much a no-no, okay? There's a couple of occasions where you might need to allow your device's location. For example, if you're on Google Maps or something and you're trying to get there. But on the whole, I would say no, especially if it's a social media app like Snapchat. Do not allow the app to access your device's location, because that means that anybody can then see exactly where you are, which of course can be quite dangerous. So definitely no to allowing locations. Number 9 then is a competition. So you want to enter a photo competition. By sending us your photo, you are giving permission for it to be printed in our pages. So this is an offline permission. Do you think that that's okay? I would say that this one is okay. If you want to be in the competition, you're going to have to give permission that your photo could be printed. So sometimes websites or apps will ask for your personal information. What is personal information? So your personal information is a concept that hopefully you're already familiar with, and it's talking about things that are personal to you. For example, your name, address, telephone number, location, etc. Okay, so this is information that we already know from our traffic light system we should not really share. So whenever you are asked online to agree to something or allow something or give permission for something, use our traffic light system. Is this something that you want to share? Is this something you need to check with an adult before you click agree or accept? Because I think sometimes people think, oh, it says I agree, yeah, I'll click that. But actually you need to think about, should you be accepting whatever it is? Should you be giving permission to this organisation or company for them to have your personal information? Sometimes it will be absolutely fine for the organisation or website to have some of your personal information. Okay, sometimes that is okay and that is safe. But this is all about you making an informed decision. And if you are unsure, the best thing to do is ask an adult what they think. Right then, quiz time. So there's 1 to 5 and I'll read them out. So you can answer true, false or unsure. Number 1, there are special laws about how companies give and receive permission online. So do you think there are special laws about how companies give and receive permission online? Number 2, in the UK, you have to be 16 years old before you can give permission to companies to store your personal information when signing up to a new account. Before that, it's up to your parents. Is that true, false, or are you unsure? Number 3, organisations have to ask your permission if they want to share your personal information with anyone else. Number 4, if a company doesn't ask your permission in the right way, they could be charged a fine. And number 5, once you've given permission to a company online, you can't change your mind. Answer time then. So, number 1, there are special laws about how companies give and receive permission online. This is true. Okay, there is something called Gdpr, which stands for General Data Protection Regulation. Look at that for a bit of a mouthful. And this is a special set of rules designed to protect your data, which includes your personal information. So the rules within this Gdpr include lots of different things to help companies and other organisations know what they can and can't do with your data and your personal information. Number 2 was, in the UK, you have to be 16 years old before you can give permission to companies to store your personal information. This is false. So, in the UK, it is 13 years old. Okay, so you should not at the moment be signing up to new accounts by yourself and saying, yes, you can have my personal information. At the moment, you still need a parent or carer to be there to help you. Okay, to do it for you. But even when you are 13, don't worry, there's still lots of people like your parents and carers who you can ask for help anyway. So don't worry, don't think, oh no, in a few years I've got to decide by myself. Don't worry, because you can still ask people. Number 3, organisations have to ask your permission if they want to share your information. This is true. Okay, and it's because of this GDPR, which we talked about earlier. So according to those rules, organisations should always ask your permission when you sign up with them if they plan on sharing your personal information. There are a few little exceptions for this, for example. So, for example, a school might have to share your medical details if you were in an accident and we wanted to let the ambulance or hospital look after you better. Okay, so there's a few exceptions, but most of the time, and all online ones pretty much, the organisation has to ask your permission to share your data. Number 4, if a company doesn't ask your permission in the right way, they could be charged a fine. This one is true too, because of GDPR. Okay, so there's special rules about how companies ask for permission. So you have, for example, if a game company wants to share your email address with another games company, they might show a tick box that looks like this. So it might say, tick here if we have permission to share your email with other great game companies. That's fine. They're allowed to say that, but they're not allowed to tick the box for you. Okay, so it can't look like that second one, because then if you scroll through the page really quickly and you didn't see that box, you wouldn't be very happy if they just presume that you've given your permission. So if a company is ticking the boxes for you already to say, yes, we give permission, they might have to pay a fine. And the last one then, number 5, once you've given permission to a company online, you can't change your mind. This is absolutely false. So even if you have given permission for a company to store or share your information, you can change your mind. Lovely. Right, we're now going to watch a little video, and I want you to think about how Maisie and Zishan are feeling and how could this situation have been avoided. Okay, so if it's a little bit blurry, that is partly the style of the design, which we'll see in a minute, but also because I'm having to do this on my phone, I'm afraid, to film it, so it's not the best. So I will read out any bits that come up on the screen, okay? So here is the start of the video. As you can see, it's quite blurry. This is kind of a Minecraft-style game. Maisie, hey Zishan, thanks for giving me the join code to view your zone on the island. Zishan, smiley face, hope you like it. I worked really hard designing it. Maisie, it's amazing. You should be a game designer. Zishan, 2 smiley faces. The next day. Zishan, did you share the join code with anyone else? Loads of other people are in the zone. And you can see in the background, look what's happening. Maisie, don't worry. It's only our friends from school. I wanted them to see how cool it was. Zishan, it's done a little angry face. Look, what's going on in the background, look. Maisie, what's wrong? Zishan, it was my zone. You could at least have asked. I probably would have said yes, but doing it without checking first was not cool. Okay then, so what happened in this little video then? Well, Zishan's made a little zone, a little kind of land, little area. He's invited Maisie to it with the code, with a sharing code. He's given permission for Maisie to join. So Maisie's joined and it was really lovely. But then Maisie, without asking Zishan's permission, she has then started to share the code with lots of other people. And as you could see in the background of the video, there was a bit of fighting going on and they were destroying things. So then Zishan was really upset. So I think Maisie probably felt a bit guilty. I think Zishan was really upset that she had shared it without his permission. So how could this situation have been avoided? Well, nice and easy. If Maisie had just asked him, can I share it? Do I have your permission to share the code? He either could have said, yes, that's absolutely fine, or no, I wouldn't really like you to. So you have to think, if with a situation like this, if someone asks you for permission to share something, you can say yes if you think it's appropriate, or no. Okay, you don't have to say yes. Even if it's a friend, you can say no, actually I don't give my permission for that. So right at the start of the lesson then, I asked you to write down some personal information. Now, if we were in the classroom, I would have gone and collected everybody's post-it notes up, and then I would have had lots of personal information about everybody. Now, did I tell you what I wanted to do with that personal information? No. So really, should you have given it to me or written it down quite so easily? Well, for one, if you didn't, well done. You were 5 steps ahead of me, so I'm impressed. But secondly, there's a few ways to think about this. First of all, you know me, you hopefully trust me, and I am an adult that is that as your teacher knows quite a lot of this personal information already, okay? So you could argue that actually I'm quite a safe person to give some personal information to, especially your name. I know your name already, your favourite colour and what you had for breakfast. Okay, so you could argue, well, actually, Miss O'Riordan is a safe adult. It doesn't matter if I give some of my personal information to her. Okay, but what you do need to think about is, if that was somebody else asking for that personal information, would you have given it that easily? What about if they asked for more personal information? So rather than favourite colour, they asked for your address or your postcode. Should you be sharing that information with other people? Okay, so again, I think the traffic lights is a really good one to come back to. Stop before you share, think about it, and if you're not sure, check with an adult. Okay, that is it for today's Safer Internet Day. Well done for getting through all of that. This is not an easy topic, and there's lots of different bits about permission, and sometimes it is really hard to know whether you should give permission or not. So the best thing to do is always check with an adult. Right, well done. If you've done the quiz, take a picture of it and send it in on Dojo, or you can just write me a message to say, yes, I have done the Safer Internet Day lesson. Right, goodbye, and I will see you soon.